Yeah, it was good. It was good. Hey, I just had to make this little video as a quick response to what this young lady was talking about. What I want to do is first, you know, I couldn't watch the whole video just because she came off a little too. She just seemed young and immature. So it's like there are lots of young people who, are sitting on gold mines, but they don't know they have gold just yet. So the reason why men in particular and black people in general get upset with that particular website is just because I mean literally it is like rape on TV. It is allowed, they are allowed to do it. I understand your perception and just don't ignore it. But at the same time, when it's seen, you put yourself on the internet and it can upset some people. So for this, I think this sister who may be trying to make a little small point might be missing a few things just by virtue of the fact that she sounds young, and she's not. I don't feel like she's fully aware of where she is and who she is and what our responsibility is now. I mean, I see that a lot where people, it's like we have got so used to things being screwed up and wrong that we think it's normal. You know what I mean? Like my man Talib Kweli said, was it Talib? I don't know. But anyway, he said becoming a victim of abnormal normality. And that's one of those things. And unfortunately, it's been going on so long that we've become immune to it in a certain degrees. So for the brothers who are upset, I'm saying to this sister who made the video, that's why they're upset. There are things going on here, like you, and you even mentioned there's things going on around the world, but the fact of the matter is that what we see, we have to get upset about, because if we don't get upset about it, then it will continue and get worse. So that's one thing. Next thing, young sister, I just want to put you on to what I'm trying to do, and that's basically, if you want to solve the problems for black people, what we need to do is listen to the most successful black leader that we've had in the past 200 years, which happens to be Marcus Garvey. You want to solve our problems? Do what Marcus Garvey does. Go to my website, check it out, and get down with the program. Because basically, the whole point is this: is that we sometimes, I think, because we're a generation who didn't grow up with blatant, in your face, I'll kill you, rape your woman in front of you racism, that we think that things are okay now. We have a black president in America. Kofi Annan is the head of the UN, and so we think things have totally changed when they haven't. We still are the most, our continent is always mistreated the most. Haitians, what they do to Haiti is just completely wrong. What they've done to black Americans is wrong. What they do to any black people that they see, whether it be here, Australia, the Philippines, wherever we are, we get treated the worst. So we can't, it's never going to be a situation where we just get up and no. We have to be more strategic in what we're doing, because we actually have to come to terms. And the problem, this is the big issue right here. We don't agree that we have enemies. We have enemies out here, but the problem is that we're so in love with our enemies and their lifestyle and their religions and their language and their concept of things that we can't stop abusing ourselves by not being ourselves. And that's what the big beef is with this whole ghetto gaggers joint. That's what the big beef is with people uploading stuff to your after you make a comment like that. Yes, they are prostitutes. Yes, they are behaving in the manner of a prostitute. But I think with, like me, I just had a son. So my whole science is that I know that when I'm raising my son, I gotta fight against really the whole entire peer group. So what we're doing, and all these brothers are doing and sisters are doing when they're giving you these responses, is that, look, man, there has to be a response. Because if we just go by and let everything act like it's sweet, then it'll get worse. Number two, as a parent, I have the monumental responsibility of raising a man. And raising a man when there's a bunch of bullshit influences on him, that once I'm at work and he's at school and he's in the street and then I come home from work, he's going to be dealing with. I have no control over that, unfortunately, because I'm only going to be able to be with him for the times I'm not at work. Me and his mother. So that's what I'm saying, that we're fighting literally against the whole world. So sometimes we have to use these type of forums to just express that. Now, granted, on most of these forums, there's not going to be any action taken. but it's a good place for us to at least see different dimensions of our opinion and things like that. So I appreciate you, young sister, for coming out there. Yes, you are beautiful and all those type of things, but I do feel that there are certain things that you need to go ahead and bone up on. And number one is knowledge of self. Sister, you sound like you from the continent. You sound like you from West Africa or somewhere like that. Sister, do your knowledge. Find out who we are. Because as a brother who was born over here in America, I can tell you this. Doing my research on the Moors, I found out that Africans were already over here. And that part of the reason why we're not ahead like we're supposed to be is because we are not claiming the right things because we don't know to claim them. Just like I said in the beginning, there's a lot of us who are sitting on a gold mine and we don't know we're sitting on a gold mine. So what is the value of gold to a fool? So what I'm saying is that once we become knowledgeable and wise to who we are, where we are, and what we can do with our assets, then we can start doing some things on a bigger scale. So for you, young sister, I say read. Read Marcus Garvey. Read Chancellor Williams. Read continuously. You know what I mean? Do some research. You know what I mean? Find out who our enemies are, and then do a video about ghetto gaggers and your opinion of people who have an opinion about it. You know what I mean? So basically, sister, I understand your little video or whatever, but things must be said. Period. Things just got to be said. We can't let that slide. Because right now, what goes on in ghetto gaggers is just a small dimension of what these devils are trying to do on a larger scale. It's the same thing that these devils are doing in Asia, where they create a situation where the social conditions are so screwed up. Beautiful women, because they just have the option to be successful prostitutes, get into that line of work. There's a scenario, especially in Bangkok in Asia, where handsome young men turn themselves into women to become part of that billion-dollar industry. So what we're saying is that we're and some people may not be articulating this, we are very upset with the social conditions that lead beautiful sisters to seek this ghetto gaggers and pornography and other aspects of the sex world and the sex trade as a lucrative escape and a means of making money. Because I did my little baby research on this shit, and you find that, especially the white porn stars, a lot of them cats, yo, they commit suicide. There's another side to this world you're just not even aware of. You know what I mean? And especially the more violent the pornography gets, you know, ghetto gaggers is pretty extreme, but the more violent it gets, there are people who do all kinds of things, and it's, you know, it's degrading and dehumanizing. But the more we accept it, like you said, the more we tune into it, then, you know, the more fub it gets. But at the same time, having a healthy conversation about wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. We need to have this. I mean, you can watch ghetto gaggers without going to their website. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where I feel like, you know, we kind of need to step up our game, and to basically make this message short. Understand our enemies. You know what I mean? Get proper knowledge of self. You know what I mean? And we'll be able to do the right thing. But in the meantime, sister, I appreciate your opinion, but I just couldn't let that slide. I couldn't let that one fly. And I'm gonna be the next dude to tell you what's going on. Now, I'm not all upset. I'll let a hoe be a hoe. However, when this hoe is on the World Wide Web and can be viewed by young women, then here's the potential for this hoe to make more hoes. And I think that's the big beef with it. You know what I mean? That's one of the big beefs. And on top of that, letting these white men get away with murder. Because I don't know if you know the history in America, but they used to kill black men for nothing. For looking at white women, or saying they looked at a white man, or thinking all that bullshit. So for us, one, to be all over these white bitches now is just an abomination to our ancestors. And number two, for these black women to run off with the enemy. And for Beyonce, and all these other chicks to have all these new videos with all these white boys in it, replacing us, then I feel like there's a genocide going on. And basically, sister, to sum it up, what's going on, there's a genocide. There's a physical genocide, and a psychological genocide, and a spiritual genocide, all of which are attacking different chakras, so to speak. So This is what this video is. This is to attack your highest chakra. Alright? Big up. Stay positive. Read, girl. Read. And you'll have some understanding, knowledge, and wisdom, and all that good stuff. Alright. Peace.